Want to know why my name was left out of the chair in the Avengers Doomsday announcement? Well, some people thought I was cut, that it was the end of my participation in the MCU. But the truth is different, and it involves contracts, scripts, rewrites, and even secrets that I almost let slip. Stick around because I'm going to tell you everything. Now, before continuing, let me do something that bothers me more than wearing tight spandex in a fight scene. Ask you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. I know it sounds like emotional blackmail, but the truth is, if I don't ask, you won't do it. And if you don't do it, the next time I have to renew a contract, I'll use this video with no engagement as an argument. Do you want that on your conscience? You don't. So click there. If you don't click, I swear I'll put you in the Kingpin's place in the next fight scene. What's really happening is that I'm negotiating a new contract with Marvel and Sony. Yes, I'm at that stage in life where I can say no. After a decade of saying yes, Mr. Kevin Feige, I finally have a voice in the decisions. And that changes everything. The next Spider-Man movie won't be that urban drama of a broke college student anymore. The script has grown, the scope has increased, and all because it comes after the events of Avengers Doomsday. Initially, the idea was something more intimate. Peter living in a terrible apartment with no one knowing who he is, trying to get by. There was even talk of including Daredevil and the Kingpin in the story. And it would make sense. The Kingpin became the mayor of New York and has a task force against vigilante. But the plan changed. Avengers, my friend. Script rewritten, new direction, tone, more epic. Want to know why? Hold on. Tight, there's more coming. Back to what matters. During an interview for Rich Roll's podcast, I mentioned that today I can better choose the projects I take on. When I signed the first contract at 18, everything was new. I agreed to everything. Now, I want each film to have a strong reason to exist. And not just because the studio wants it. I'm learning to use this new power without letting it go to my head. Difficult, but necessary. And here comes the good part. Yes, I've already received the script for the next movie. Zendaya and I. And you know what's more interesting? I already knew about Downey's return. And if I knew, it's because the script I read probably already had hints about Doomsday, which, in case you didn't know, is the new big villain of the MCU. I mean, imagine Spider-Man dealing with someone who resembles his former mentor. That's something you can't ignore. By the way, keeping secrets has never been my strong suit, right? I was once the world champion of accidentally giving away spoilers. In this case, I found out about Robert Downey Jr.'s return, like Doomsday before everyone else, and I had to hold on to the information. It was difficult. I almost spilled the beans at a barbecue, seriously, but I resisted. Personal growth, I would say. Now, pay attention to this part. Listen to what I'm going to say now. It's important to remember that the reason for my chair's absence at the Avengers announcement event is not because I was cut, but because the contract was still under negotiation. And of course, they weren't going to put my name out there without everything being signed. It seems obvious, but you know how it is. The internet loves to create crazy theories. Another curious detail, when they officially announced the cast, Downey dropped a hint on Instagram. Like, there's more to come, and let's be honest. If he's coming back, do you really think I won't be there too? Even The Hollywood Reporter mentioned that new revelations will be made at CinemaCon, D23, and Comic-Con. The game is still on. Hold on to your hearts, folks. Even so, some people have been saying that I wouldn't be in Doomsday because of the Spider-Man 4 filming, but reliable insiders have already confirmed. I'm in negotiations. The absence of my chair only shows that the contract wasn't finalized yet. Simple. No drama. Although you know I like a good drama. The Doomsday cast is already packed. Former X-Men, classic heroes, people coming back from the dead, or almost that. And right after Marvel announced this list, Downey appeared on Instagram, suggesting there was still more to come. Spoiler, I would say yes. And spoiler is my thing, you know. And do you want to know why it makes sense to put me in this movie? Since Civil War, I've been in the most important moments of the Avengers. I did my part in Infinity War, I showed up well in Endgame, and now, with Doomsday looking like Tony Stark, you can imagine what that will cause for Peter. There's too much story there, and you can't push it to later, like in Secret Wars. The moment is now. Another insider, Alex Peter, said that Peter won't even want to get involved in the Doomsday story, but will be forced to, and this fits perfectly with his way, always trying to stay away from chaos and always being pulled into the center of it. Coincidence? Not at all. Honestly, the negotiation of my contract is aligned with all of this. Of course, I'm asking for more, not just money. I'm talking about creative decisions, space, relevance, and apparently, they're listening. In the end, Spider-Man is one of the strongest faces of the MCU today. Taking me out of the game would be foolish, to say the least. Now I want to know from you. Does it make sense to leave Spider-Man out of Doomsday? Or does the chaos only really start when I show up? Tell me in the comments, but really comment. Because if you watch silently, I'll do something so harsh that even Venom couldn't handle it. Hack your phone, join the group, the family group, and send that 3-minute audio where you're crying drunk at 2 a.m. saying you still love your ex. Thanks for watching and see you next time.